The sacral chakra is an integral part of manifesting exactly what you want. If you want to learn about how to manifest, how to be more magical with your sacral chakra, then stay tuned for this video. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life YouTube channel. This channel is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. If you want to enjoy more content like this, then I invite you to like, subscribe, share, comment, leave some comments about what you would like to see on this channel, and of course, click the little bell so that you can get notifications about when we post more videos. So this is an installment in my series on chakra magic. And by the way, let me tell you who I am. My name is Tricia Carr. I'm your host here on this channel. I'm a spiritual teacher, multidimensional medium, empathic channel, and I am a human design type reflector. So anyway, that's a little bit about who I am, and let's get into what you can do and how you can be more magical in your relationship with your sacral chakra in order to manifest that which is truly who you're meant to be. Well, first of all, your sacral chakra, let's talk about what it is in some general terms and fundamentally. Sacral chakra is about movement, not just physical movement, any kind of movement, flow, energy. It's about feeling, so think about feeling and the emotions flowing and moving. And the sacral chakra is this genesis of our relationship with duality, of having an individuated experience of self while interacting with the field, while interacting with creation. So it is personal experience that is had by relating. That's some of the elements of sacral chakra. You see, its time of development is at about 6 months of age, and that's about the time when we as babies start to be able to move and have some kind of independent choice away from primary caregivers. So if you can think about that continuing throughout the life in the context of being an adult and being a powerful manifester. So that sacral chakra, if you think about the baby moving away from primary caregiver or mama, if you prefer, by the way, only reason I would say mama is the primary caregiver is because since the baby comes from the human mother's body, then that's usually the case, almost always the case. But it is still, that's why I say primary caregiver too, because of course, any of the other primary caregivers in a child's life may be that person. All right, back to the sacral chakra. Thinking about the movement of the child, the baby. So then sacral chakra throughout your whole life manages the energy of exploration, of creativity, because if you're moving to something that you're interested in, then you're being creative. Openness, being able to be open to responding and interacting with the field of creation. Also stimulation, something that is motivating you, pulling you forward, and flow, of course, because it would be you moving as well as your emotional feeling body moving and magnetizing you to where you want to be. And now for these messages.
Do you have a sense that there's more to life than what you can see?
Lightshine Spiritual Academy presents the Intuitive Intensive, a groundbreaking 8-week program designed to blast open your intuitive abilities and catapult you into a dynamic, connected, and psychic life.
Join spiritual teachers Crystal Ann Compton and Tricia Carr in this immersive program of education, high vibration, and group coaching. Class begins the week of January 23rd, 2022.
These are all very key. If you can feel into that energy center with all of this information that we are discussing here, then I think you'll get the hang of how to have a more magical relationship with your sacral chakra. So the characteristics of the sacral chakra, it is associated with the orange ray, or the center is actually in the electromagnetic field, considered to be orange. So ta-da, color therapy. So it is orange, and then its location, it is in the lower abdomen area. It's associated with the physical organs of the testes and or ovaries. And then it's psychology, the psychological elements of the sacral chakra have to do with freedom and feeling and flowing. The 3 Fs, freedom, feeling, flowing. So the sacral is key to really discovering who you are. And it's also key to you being able to become who you are, because you want to feel your way to what is pleasurable and what will bring you gratification and what is creative and your contribution to the field of creation. And then it's also how you magnetize those co-creative partners to you, because the sacral is the seat of the feeling nature, of the flowing and of the emotional sensing. So the sacral really must be opened, balanced, and really it needs to be free in order for you to sense what you want in the world and to be able to signal what it is that you are manifesting in this universe. If you are familiar with human design, well, then you probably already know that the sacral chakra is one of the major motor centers. If you're not familiar with human design, then I would direct you to Jovian Archive. That's both the name of the website and the YouTube channel, and you can find out some of the basics of human design and get your free chart so that you can understand your design type. Back to what the implications are in the human design model. Human design, the sacral is a major motor center, and those who are generators have a defined sacral. And the sacral actually it generates life force energy. So the generators in our population are creating life force energy, or at least channeling it by being able to receive the neutrinos that would align with that energy center. It's pretty cool. So having the sacral in balance, whether it's defined or undefined in the human design model or not, really does lend to whether you have enough sustainable energy to do what it is that is your part of creation. So we want to make sure that it's open, and we want to make sure that it's balanced, because any of our energy centers can be actually too open, too expressive, and that would throw us off balance. And it should be noted that the sacral chakra is also managing the energy of sensuality and sexuality in tandem with root chakra, and, well, in tandem with the whole energy system, but of course the ones that are most proximate, like the identity center of the solar plexus and the root chakra. And so, yes, with that movement, flowing, gratification, that's all a part of the sacral chakra as well. As is my intention with this series on the chakras, I wanted to give you just a few tidbits that were just kind of unique or different, or maybe not entirely different, but I wanted to not give you something totally typical along with that, which is typical, which is why we talk about the color and the ray and everything, and some of the basic characteristics. But I want to give you a little technique of how you can find out the current balance, the very momentary balance of your sacral chakra. Now, I say momentary because we kind of have these cycles that we're working through as well. So you could be in a year where the sacral is functioning this way or that way, or making a transition in what it is releasing and how it is opening. But in this very moment, you could actually use a pendulum to discern what its balance is like. Now, this is actually just a necklace of mine with a beautiful smoky quartz crystal on it. You can use anything for a pendulum. This is a little heavy, so it's going to move slower than some other ones that are designed specifically for being a pendulum. Sometimes they have a crystal point on them. My main pendulum is a kind of like a class ring. It's not literally a class ring, but a heavy Gothic ring on a chain. And I have it at home right now. It doesn't leave my house. So let's just look at how you can detect the energy flow of your sacral chakra. Incidentally, this can be done with any of your chakra centers. I'm just going to use it for the sacral. So let me scoot to where I'm sure you can see me. Okay, great. So what you want to do is clear your mind, take a few big deep breaths, and then hold the pendulum in alignment with that energy center, and steady it first, and make sure your arm and your hand is as steady as possible. And I usually close my eyes for this so that I can be free of sort of telepathically or telekinetically controlling it. And but the main thing that helps me to be free of telekinetically controlling it is just clearing my mind. So with that deep breath, you clear the mind, and then just take a few moments to allow the pendulum to move. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually not going to close my eyes, but I'm going to look at the camera lens, and I can feel it at the tips of my fingers. I think it's already moving. Okay, it is. Okay. So it catches the wave of that energy center. Like I said, this one's moving pretty slowly, but it's still moving in a very specific motion. So I think you can tell by the camera. You may be able to tell. So it's actually moving in an oblong motion right now. And there's no bad way. There's nothing wrong or bad about it. So it's going like this forward, and then it's narrower in this path. So it's moving forward and back longwise, and then this side to side. is narrower. So what that indicates to me is I'm kind of pushing, you know what I mean? Like the energy is kind of like, oh, I got to do things today. I got to move. And so the life force is a little bit squished this way. And again, nothing wrong with that. But if I would like to probably have a little bit more sustainable energy, it would be good for me to have an intentional moment to balance that. So now I would say that if you happen to see it going the oblong this way, then that's probably because you're holding back or resisting. And then maybe we want to balance it so that, it can be more forward when it's appropriate to be forward, and more, stationary when it's appropriate to be stationary. Other ways that it could possibly move is if it's that this was going clockwise. So that means it's generating, it's signaling, it's putting energy out into the world. If it were to be going counterclockwise, that just means that you are releasing, and it's a good time for some introversion. And so again, nothing is wrong with any movement. It's just indication. Now, there could be other motions that it could go, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave that up to you for the interpretation. Honestly, your intuition about it is most important. That's what I'm going on right now. You can get pendulum charts. They are very, very detailed about the different ways that things move. You could, ask it a question and it'll, indicate many, many different things. I'm being very basic and just giving you I think it's a very simple tool. Now you could go through all of your chakras and see what's going on there and find out what kind of energy. If it's moving really fast, it means it's moving actively. I'll bet you if I put it by my third eye, it's going pretty fast, faster than my sacral. Okay. So yeah, see, third eye is moving pretty quickly because I'm in a creative state right now. Now I'm always in an intuitive and creative state when I'm creating video content. So anyway, what I can do about bringing balance to my sacral right now, because it's doing this oblong, is I can obviously, if I had time to go meditate and really just communicate with it, that would be great. But what I can do almost quickly is you can actually close your chakra. Now you close your chakra and then it just resets and naturally reopens. So the way that you close your chakra, you can visualize it, sense it, or just have a feeling that it is actually closing like a lotus flower, closing like a flower inside its area. And then just take a beat, take a nice big breath, and as it is reopening, because it does it naturally, you don't have to even visualize that, then you can use some balancing affirmations, which I have a few for you. So let me just demonstrate. Let me get back in the position here. Okay, I'm going to let it do what it's going to do first. Okay, so it's still doing that motion. And so now I'm just going to take a moment, visualize it closing, and sense it closing. Oh, look at that. And the pendulum stopped. So it closed. So since my chakra is actually a bit too open, that's what mine would indicate. It's actually pushing a little bit. It's a little bit too open, and so it's hard for me to think with my sacral closed. I'm going to allow it to open I'm keeping this still because it might be opening already. I'm going to allow it to open with some balancing affirmations that will help me to balance in the way that I need to right now. So basically, like, it is moving, it is pushing. I'm pushing it a little bit. You'd say it's a little too open. So I'm gonna repeat some of these, so give me a moment while I get a little bit in the state. Okay. I am at ease. I flow with synchrony. I am harmony. I flow with divine order. Everything flows with divine order. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am free. Okay. It's moving. It's still moving oblong, but it's not as oblong. So then I might do it again. And, I'm going to continue to repeat these throughout the rest of my workday because I would like to be more balanced as I continue to work. Now, some other affirmations, if you If it was too closed, if you were a bit inhibited in the sacral and maybe feeling resistant to movement, then here are some of those affirmations. I am open. I allow life force to flow. I am curious. I love to explore. I trust life. I trust flow. I am aware. I am free. Now I am free for both of them because that again is ultimately, it's a kind of signature of the sacral chakra. Now those affirmations are pasted in the description here, so you can copy those down, make them your own. Remember, the key to affirmations, mantras, decrees, and spells, magical spells, is the feeling nature, that you truly feel aligned and activated in your emotions and in your feeling when you are speaking them in your mind or out loud. Putting the voice to it is very powerful because it is a manifestation to actually put the vibration to the throat chakra. And if you need to modify them in any way, go right ahead, because it is much more important that you feel it completely authentically in order for the transcendence to find you. Well, that's what I have for you about the sacral chakra in this series of Chakra Magic. Please check the description because you'll find other in this series, starting with the root chakra and going beyond, depending on when you watch this video, or stay tuned if you are watching it right on time because the others are coming up. And with that, I want to thank you so much for being here with me. Do please like, subscribe, share, comment, leave a request in the comments if you like, and click the little bell so that you can get the notifications of when more of this content is created. I also want to point your attention to other links in the description. Always have programs coming up with the Light Shine Spiritual Academy, and of course, my podcast, Charmed Life with Tricia Carr. And with that, thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.